Hi students, welcome to BTech 360. A lot of students have written to me about Jamia Millia Islamia and the engineering departments that they offer, the kind of placement that they happen, and the kind of cutoff that you need, right? So my team has done a wonderful job of actually getting a lot of data for you that will help you understand Jamia and what are the programs that are offered, what kind of placements happen, and what is it that you are needed to have in terms of merit score, etc., so that you can get into Jamia. First of all, just to talk about Jamia, it's established in 1928, so it's been about 106 years since it's been established. So obviously, a lot of alumni would be all over the world, all over the country, in every city and state that you will visit, because when you actually have such a legacy of 106 years, you can be sure that so many people would have passed through the gates of Jamia. And by the way, we are only talking about the Faculty of Engineering and Technology here. We're not talking of the university. We are talking of the engineering programs only and nothing more, right? So when you have 106 years of legacy, you will actually have a lot of students, successful people occupying very senior positions in different companies. And to that extent, the institution also benefits in terms of projects, internships, and placements also. So to that extent, it's very, very good. Right? It's a central university. You all know that. It's spread over 239 acres of land. So that's a very, very large campus they have. The NIRF ranking, which is the Government of India ranking for Jamia, is 24th best in the country. For engineering only, I'm saying. 24th best, that's again a very, very credible ranking that you can think of. The total students in the campus across all the 4 years is about 1,404, of which boys are 1,061 and girls are 343. So we're dealing with about 30-32% being girls and everything else being boys, or rather less than 30% actually. About 1,150 students come from outside the state and about 126 of them come from outside the country also. So you actually have students from international students coming over to study at Jamia. That again is a very credible thing. And about 131 faculty, which is about 1:11 kind of a faculty student ratio is what they have, which is again very good, because typically what is demanded is 1:15 and Jamia seems to have 1:11. Now let's talk of the placements that actually before placement, let's talk of the kind of cutoff that you need to get there. That's very important for you to know. So Jamia obviously offers about 6-7 programs. So let's talk of each program and what is the kind of cutoff that is needed. For BTech CSE Data Sciences, they have a program, BTech CSE in Data Sciences. The highest closing cutoff in the open category is 64,706, right? For the Muslim, it is 66,360. So it's in fact, it's very small difference it is. So a general category student also can go there. Ignore anything else. Just understand that when you get into Jamia, you get into a good college with good placement records, right? And if it's Muslim, OBC or whatever, it's 72,000. So the cutoff differential between categories and general category is not much here. Now, that is for CSE. Now they also have, that is CSE for data sciences. The CSE engineering, which is a typical computer science engineering, what you call it, CSE. Here the general category cutoff is 43,967. 43,967, and if you're a Muslim, OBC or ST, then it is 58,378. That's the highest closing cutoff. The civil engineering, the highest closing category cutoff for general is about 81,088 in the open category. Muslims is 94,491 and Muslim women is 1,50,703. Now this obviously the highest, the cutoff has gone up very, very high for civil engineering for women, because obviously very few girls actually prefer to join civil engineering. It's a physically demanding profession, as you'd say. Then electronics and communication engineering, which is ECE. Here for general category, 67,061 is the highest closing cutoff. Muslims, it is 68,841, again very competing. Muslim OBC, Muslim ST is 74,296. Again, if you notice, in the normal ST versus general category, the difference is very, very huge, but here it's not much. The cutoff is 67,000 for the normal, and the moment you come down to ST also of Muslim, it's 74,296, so extremely competitive. Muslim women is 1,03,882. Candidates from Jammu and Kashmir, also they have a special category, and here it's gone up to 1,44,248. Jamia offers something for students of Jammu and Kashmir, and that is what we're dealing with here. And PWD is 7,71,629, very, very high out here. Then they also have one more program, which is electrical and computer engineering. This is a very unique program that they have. Here the general category cutoff is 75,105. Muslim is 86,298. Muslim OBC, Muslim ST is 91,238. Again, the margin for between Muslim ST versus Muslim general is very, very low. Muslim women is 1,39,637. It's very good that, Jamia has separated the women and all, because you need to really push the fair agenda to make them part of the engineering STEM field, because a lot of women do go for the medical profession, but very few come for the STEM side, which is engineering side. That is where I think some of the colleges, including IIT Delhi for that matter, give you have created a extra numeracy seats of 10%, 15% to cater to that. In fact, even in the women, even in the NEET, I know for a fact that some of the professions which are meant for women also are being taken by men. Even gynecology, I know quite a few men prefer gynecology also. So having said that, this is where we stand at this point in time. Now for BTech Electrical Engineering, which is the general category cutoff is 76,745. Muslim women is 86,346. Muslim OBC and Muslim ST is 87,631. And Muslim women is 1,30,944. Candidates from Jammu and Kashmir, again, 1,47,375. That's the highest closing cutoff. I'll come to the placements right after this, so keep listening to me. Then we have BTech Mechanical, where the general category cutoff is 79,106. Muslim women is 91,586. Muslim OBC, Muslim SC is 94,398. Again, if you see, there is very, very little margin between Muslim General, Muslim OBC and Muslim ST. The Muslim women is 1,45,976 and candidates from Jammu and Kashmir 1,56,420. Who are the kind of recruiters that come for Jamia? Quite a big list that you have. The best of the lot is out here. Google, tech company, Microsoft, Amazon, Adobe, Oracle, Cisco, Intel, Qualcomm, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, ZS Associates, Cognizant, Tata Elxsi, Bosch, Honeywell, ABB, NTPC, ONGC, Gale, Flipkart, Paytm, Byju's, Zomato, Swiggy, Walmart Global, Accenture, Bharat Electronics, Schneider, Siemens, TCS, Optum, IDFC First Bank. So you have all kinds of big tech companies, banking companies, consulting companies, conglomerates, manufacturing companies, investment banks. You have all kinds of companies coming for placement. So that's a very good thing as well. Now I will tell you, having told you what kind of companies come in, obviously your expectation would be very, very high in terms of the kind of salary that you will get. So we actually have data from the Government of India, NIRF, which is, NIRF is a ranking process that is conducted by the Government of India to rank all colleges in the country, all universities in the country, and they do it domain-wise. So one of them is, of course, obviously the engineering domain that they rank separately. Now the Jamia has a total intake of 350. And last year they admitted 351. So one seat might be extra numeracy which might be coming in. So it's become 351. And all the 351 graduated. So this is 23-24 data that I'm talking of, which means these students joined in 2021 and then passed out in 23-24, right? So all the students graduated, 100% graduation, which is very, very commendable. Now of this 351, 297 students were placed because 54 students opted for higher studies, which is a possibility, though 54 for me is very high in terms of the number that I see, because typically in a good engineering college, 15% students don't go out for higher studies, 15, whatever, but this seems to be the case that about 15-17% students are opting for higher studies. So one needs to get into the details of that. But having said that, because all the students who opted to be placed or registered for placement were placed, which is 297 students, the placement is 100%. And the median salary here is very, very good in terms of the thing. It's 13.78 lakh rupees. So that's the number that has been submitted to the Government of India, which is what I'm reading out. It's not my number. It is a number that's been submitted on an affidavit to the Government of India for the purpose of NIRF ranking. So I'm reading that out. But it's very important for me to see if what has been said here is corroborated in terms of the companies that are coming for placement and in terms of the kind of median salary that's there. So what we looked at is we went to LinkedIn to understand how many students who studied at Jamia claimed that they studied in Jamia Radha, and how are they working, how are they placed, and where are they placed. When we looked at that data, we realized that as of now, as we sit now, about 379 students are right now working in TCS, about 134 students are right now working in Deloitte, 142 in L&T, 39 in Qualcomm. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that these companies obviously might be coming for placement there, that so many students are still working there. But more importantly, we actually looked at the big companies because the big names were there, which is Meta, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, and those kind of companies. But because these companies give a better offer, the pay package is very, very high. And obviously you have a greater chance of career growth because these companies are all over the world. So they would actually at some point in time move you out, and the career growth is dramatic here. So when we looked at that data, in Meta, 13 students who studied at Jamia are right now working there. In Apple, there are 27 students of Jamia who are working there. In Amazon, which is, I told you already, they do recruit from, Jamia. About 277 students are right now working there. In fact, over a period of time, about 850 students have worked at Amazon over a period of time. Right now, 277 are working. NVIDIA, about 7 students are working. And in Google, again, which is a recruiter from Jamia, about 51 students are working. In fact, over a period of time, about 548 students were placed or were working at Google who have studied at Jamia, which is a very good number. And I also looked at it to understand how is the career growth, how is the career path, and where are they working, what is the location. When I looked at that, again, a 160-year legacy institution would have a lot of students working outside the domicile where the university is. But when we looked at the data, about 12% of the students of Jamia are working outside of India, which means that they have grown up the ladder, they have grown in the career, have moved jobs, but they're not working in India, they're working outside of India. In fact, in USA itself, we actually have about 2.5% students working there. Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Australia, Singapore, everywhere we actually have. USA, 1,714 students are working. UAE, 3% students are working. So that's the kind of number that you're dealing with. And in Delhi, about 54,000 students are working. So obviously, because Jamia is based in Delhi NCR, it always works for you. But having said that, the placement of Jamia is good enough because the intake is small. It's a very boutique university as far as engineering is concerned. That just 350 intake is a very, very small number to cater to. And to that extent, the personal interest of the institution to ensure that the 350 students that they are studying with them are placed is very, very high. And it's much more easier to for a boutique university which is sharply focused on creating good quality students. The admission criteria is very difficult, very strict, very competitive rather. It becomes easy for the institution to place that, and which is what you see when you actually see a median salary of 13.78 lakh rupees, the kind of companies that come for placement, and the fact that 12% students are right now working outside of India, all bodes very well for the institution. So if you're getting Jamia, you must take it. It's a 24th best engineering college in the country, 13.78 lakh median salary, 100% placement, best of the companies coming there, investment banks, tech companies and all. So it's a very good option for you. You must take that if you get it. Thank you so much. Namaste.